crew ready? Am I glistening? Like, wow, she must be really cooking. Look how shiny she is. Well, that's right, I am really cooking. This is probably my favorite pasta dish and definitely the most important pasta dish of my life. It's a roasted tomato and anchovy bucatini. You can think of this recipe in two ways. You can think of it as a pasta sauce recipe, which it is, and you can think of it as an oil roasted tomato recipe. So I love cooking things in a ton of olive oil. I cook fish this way, I cook chicken this way, and I love cooking vegetables this way. You wanna have them crosswise. I like to roast them cut side up. The juices kind of come out that way and then they bubble over. It's like a better surface area for that caramelization to happen. And you can roast them in any container you have. I use a baking dish. I've done it in a skillet. I've done it on a sheet tray. But I like the baking dish because it allows the oil to really come up around the tomatoes and prevent them from drying out. And when I cook with garlic, I like to leave the skin on. It literally adds no bad things to your dish, but it will save you a ton of time. And yeah, and once they cook, they pop right out of their skin, so it's not like you're doing any extra work. And then you do want to cover them with an obscene amount of olive oil. I season them after I put the olive oil on because the olive oil will kind of just rinse the salt away. And seasoning them with salt is gonna obviously make them taste good, but it's also gonna help draw out all the moisture from the tomato, which is why you're sort of doing this in the first place. So these are gonna go into a 325-degree oven for about 2.5, 3 hours, and you'll start to smell them once they get closer to being done, and you'll know. These tomatoes are done, and they are so gorgeous. They are shriveled and beautiful and concentrated and kind of sticky, and the garlic is really caramelized and roasted, and the oil tastes amazing. These are really, really special tomatoes. And like I said, you can definitely make this recipe with canned tomatoes, but canned tomatoes don't look like this. Now I'm gonna cook my pasta. So I'm gonna add this to my very salty boiling water. I am strictly anti-breaking pasta in half for it to fit in the pot, in case you were wondering. I think that you should always just keep it whole. It'll fit. You just gotta let it cook for a minute. So I'm gonna use the oil that I roasted the tomatoes in because I already have it. And then I'll add a little bit of that garlic in there, because why not? Oh yeah, and I'm just gonna season these onions with a little salt and red pepper. And you just wanna cook them until they're kind of translucent. They're gonna lose a lot of that red color, but you're not gonna caramelize them. They're just gonna be kind of soft. So now come the anchovies, which is maybe the second most important part of this whole dish. I'm gonna use 4 because I love anchovies. Because you're already using those really concentrated roasted tomatoes and you're gonna finish it with Parmesan, the anchovies are just adding like a third layer of just really intense umami-ish flavor. I hate that word. I'm gonna add a little bit of tomato paste after the anchovy just to kind of intensify that tomatoey flavor. I'm gonna add the tomatoes. And as these cook, you can kind of break them up with your spoon, which is why I like to use a really nice sturdy wooden spoon, so you can really get in there. I have reserved some of that pasta water that I've cooked this in. I've added it to the skillet. It's kind of thickened and really saucy, a little bit on the runnier side, and this pasta's on the little al dente side, which is exactly what you want. So the pasta can actually just finish cooking in this sauce. So I've taken the pasta off now, and you can see that like even the texture of the pasta is a little fuller, and the color has changed. It's really nice and red, almost orangey. Now it fully cooked in the sauce, so some of that sauce is in the pasta. It's in the pasta. Isn't that crazy? And so you could eat this right out of the skillet. Sure, nothing wrong with that, zero shame. But we're gonna do things a little bit more civilized. Oh, wow. If it doesn't get all over the place, I don't think you're doing it right. No one said this would be elegant, just delicious. And then from here, you're obviously going to shower it with an obscene amount of Parmesan cheese. And then leave the hunk out for when somebody's like, do you have more cheese? And say, yeah, but you have to shave it yourself. Where's Charlie? Charlie, I made you my favorite pasta of all time.
That's high pressure.
Yeah. Well, for me, yeah, wow, you really called me out. Kind of tastes like SpaghettiOs in the best way.
But like way better.
You can take more. Just, yeah. See you, Charlie. I had so much fun making these videos and an even better time writing my book, Dining In, available wherever books are sold.